Yo, what's up, my fellow Dragodons? Dreadclaw here, and today I'm joined by my good friend, the best cat one could want as a friend, Gizmocat.
Hello. I'm excited.
I'm excited too, my dude. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Me and Gizmo are going to be predicting what we think is going to be at this year's Summer's Games Fest. Hopefully something better than last year's, besides, shooters, open world games, the Shimadon we always get.
So I'm actually a bit more optimistic for this time around and this year, mainly because they gave out the list of developers, and I think we have some pretty good predictions.
I'm kind of surprised we don't have EA or Ubisoft this year, unless they really don't have anything to show off this year.
Well, I think both of those companies are undergoing a lot of changes, so maybe they just want to hold off, or maybe they're just putting all their eggs into the Game Awards. So I guess we'll find out. Question mark.
Indeed. So, we start off with 2K. So, I'm coping hard because there has been rumors going on about BioShock 4. And I think this would now be the perfect time for them to finally show off something of it, because keep in mind, this was announced back in 2019 on Twitter of all places. Um, they announced that they made a studio that was to work on the latest Bioshock game. And given we have Judas that's supposed to be coming out this year, quote unquote, this year, as well as there's a lot of games that have influence from Bioshock, they really need to show something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there were a lot of games that were basically replicating BioShock. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Was it
I,
Bendy or was it something else?
I think
I
so,
think
yeah. Bendy has
yeah.
somewhat of an influence on uh from Bioshock. Same for um one of the games we're gonna talk about later as well. Um I would say as well, like, My Friendly Neighborhood has a little bit of Bioshock to it. There's also an indie game coming out that's called Twisted Tower that's like Bioshock as well. So you really see how much of an impact that Bioshock has brought to the industry. So I'm hoping 2K, you don't fuck this up.
Yeah, that's we can only hope. But I mean, it could be the pandemic kind of thing because it seems like that has been the go-to excuse for a lot of delays and everything. So yeah, I do agree that this would be the perfect time and to show it off like now and to hype it up before the Game Awards would actually be the perfect time to do it. So I do agree that this would be a good time. What do you think the probability of us seeing it is? I know we're coping hard for it, but what's the actual probability that this will happen?
Um, I'd say low, but at the same time, it's like they really need to show something soon because it's been developing for that long, and I've heard from rumbles that it's been in development hell. So um, I'm hoping, even though it's the cope.
Well, as they say in that one Bluey episode, we'll see.
The other things I think 2K will probably show off is like more advertisement for their $80 game, Borderlands 4, and probably some kind of Civilization 6 DLC.
I'll add one more thing. It's very likely they're going to show off some sort of sports game, just because there's been a lot of content creators and I guess some analysts as well that they're kind of taking over the space of the yearly and annual sports games. Because EA usually had that as basically a monopoly to a certain extent, but then 2K has been like slowly overtaking.
Oh yeah, definitely with the WWE, the um basketball games, the NBA
Yeah,
ones. There's also
yeah.
been, I want to say, a golf game they've been putting out as well.
And there was some other one. I want to say it was a football game, but I could be completely wrong about that. We'll verify that and we'll probably cut this out if that's not the case.
Oh well. There's been leaks going around recently about Amazon, because we were originally going to skip them because, Amazon. What did they actually put out besides one MMORPG that I don't think anybody really talks about nowadays? Supposedly, um, they're going to show off the new Tomb Raider game, which fans already complain. What a surprise.
So wait, what console is it supposed to be on?
I imagine it's probably going to be PS5 and Series X. I can't see it as a PS4 game, but hey, don't quote me on that.
Oh, okay. So are they fully fledged as a publisher currently?
I guess so, since they own the rights to Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's what we'll see.
Which, as well, perfect timing too, since they did release, I want to say this year, the other Tomb Raider remasters, 4 through 6.
Yeah, I think it was early in the year.
So hey, it's like something nice for Tomb Raider fans to get excited for, even though I'm sure like two of those games are controversial. And kind of curious what direction they're gonna go with, since the last Tomb Raider trilogy just felt like, I mean, I haven't played it myself, but I know from Tomb Raider fans it was very hit and miss, since the reboot series was more like Uncharted. So wonder what direction they're gonna go with Lara Croft this time.
Uh, It's time will tell.
I hope so, and it's actually good, and not just cinematic slop.
All right, moving on to the next developer, or I guess publisher as well in this case, Annapurna Interactive. So this one I actually find kind of interesting because I know sometime last year, or it was early this year, that a bunch of their staff just walked out. I'm pretty sure it was on the development side. We're going to confirm on our end if that was the case. But moving on to what we'll actually see in the event is either the new Blade Runner game that's coming up or a new Silent Hill that is apparently being published by them.
I was kind of surprised because I know Konami has like greenlit a few projects, like the one that was for free on PS5, and of course the Silent Hill 2 remake, and we also got Silent Hill F, which, yeah, bad name, but it looks pretty promising if you look into it with the developers and the writer. So it'd be kind of interesting what they'll do when it comes to this Silent Hill game.
Yeah, I think right now is the perfect time because the remakes actually did pretty well, to my knowledge.
Yeah, did pretty. I would say solid numbers, especially with how horror is nowadays, where it's a very niche. Unless, of course, you're Resident Evil, where it's like you'll do gangbusters.
But yeah, I think right now is the perfect time. So I think the Silent Hill project is going to be a bit more likely, but I could see the Blade Runner being shown off as well, just because it's kind of like a grand game, and I would say it's kind of the likes of something like Cyberpunk, which has done pretty well, even though the two of us aren't really into that. But I could kind of see that being shown off as well. So I would say it's one of those two. All right, so the next is Atari. So, Draco and I actually couldn't really think of any major predictions for Atari. The only thing that comes into mind for me personally that I'm kind of coping with is one, I know they have a catalog of their old games, so maybe something related to that. Probably not. Or Roller Coaster Tycoon, because they own the rights to it, and it's been quite a few years since anything has been released. And there is still a pretty big, I want to say, niche following for Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I don't think it's going to be very likely. That's just me coping, and I know it's me coping. So that's pretty much what I would want from them, though. But so besides that, can't really think of anything else.
I would agree with a possible collection because they have been doing stuff like that in recent years. Just like every big major publisher has been putting out like some kind of collection of random games.
Yeah, I know Sega did one kind of recently, or I think it's still coming up soon, if I'm not mistaken.
That and we also saw like Microsoft do a thing for retro
Oh,
Activision
Activision, you're
IPs.
right. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is Bandai Namco, which we both have different things to talk about. So I'll let you go first, since you're going to talk about Metroidvania.
Yay! So yeah, the one that we're talking about is Shadow Labyrinth, which was shown during the Game Awards. And I'm honestly really excited about that game. It could be that, I mean, there is already a date release for it. So there's a possibility it could be shown again, but maybe not. But I wouldn't be surprised if they would want to advertise something again. Another game that I'm kind of hoping for, and I don't think it's going to be very likely at all, that it's going to be a Pac-Man World 2 remake because they came out with number one a couple of years ago. And it's like, why not? Why not come out with the second one? But again, that's probably not likely at all, just because it's not really known how well the first remake actually did, which I think that, again, it's a very niche audience. So I don't think it did extremely well, but well, we'll see how that goes.
As well, just to bring up a point when it comes to Pac-Man World 2 thing. Some fans have noticed like Bandai Namco has been showing off stuff with Pac-Man World 2, so that also kind of sparks that theory if they're gonna do a remake of 2, which I hope it's better than Repack 1, please. You guys ruined the butt bounce for the second time in the row!
Well, it was kind of like that in the first one.
Not really. We still gotta get you to play the first one. The OG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. After like 25 years, I think.
I mean, it's still a decent remake. Like, some aspects are much better in the remake than the original. But there's still some aspects where um, the original shines. Like, the fact that they've suddenly put Pacmon in there. Like, what? That's just weird to me. Like, I get Ad Games owns the rights, but it's like, Bandai Namco, just buy the rights back.
No, it's they've tried to buy the rights back, but At Games doesn't want to sell it back.
Those assholes.
No, wait. I take it back. It was Midway who didn't want to give the rights back for Miss Pac-Man, and then yeah, I think it was pettiness. So in a way, I could kind of respect it being so petty for years and I guess decades in this case, but that's pretty much what happened there.
So one thing I'm also hoping for, even though I feel like the remake didn't really sell that well, because, companies can't be bothered to advertise shit unless it's anime. Look at you, Bandai Namco. I'm hoping and coping for a Klonoa 3, since we haven't had a new Klonoa game in years. I think the last one we ever got was those ones for the Game Boy Advance. So I'm kind of hoping they're gonna find someone to make a third Klonoa, because Klonoa does deserve a third mainline entry. Because I feel like, as well as day and age, it's nice to see platformers are having a bit of a renaissance, both
Yeah,
2D and 3D.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of renaissance. But yeah, I would say like a third one would be a good way to conclude the series as well. Just because it's like, oh, let's make it a trilogy and then just kind of end it there. Because it doesn't need to be dragged on. It's like I wouldn't want the series to be dragged on.
That's fair. So the other thing that I definitely imagine we're gonna see, is their next big game they announced at the State of Play recently this year, the new Digimon game, Digimon Storytime Stranger, which we haven't got a release date yet, but I feel like this would be the perfect time to give that release date. Hopefully before October, because that's when the new Pokemon game comes out.
Yeah, I think this is the most likely scenario, and I think both of us kind of agree with that.
Yeah. And plus, this time Bandai Namco actually gave Digimon a budget. So I think they're going a little bit more in with this one. And plus they know people like the Digimon story games. They're more like the Megaton games, things like SMT, Persona. So I feel like they have more confidence in this game doing well as opposed to Digimon Survive. So next up is Bellring Games, which I didn't know who the heck they were until I recently looked up for this video. I completely forgot. They are apparently making a co-op Souls-like game. This was announced at last year's State of Play.
Hmm. Yeah, I do find this a bit of strange timing though, just because Night Rain just came out.
And plus, you
So
got Dusk Bloods coming out next year.
that's true as well, yeah.
But hey, it's an interesting idea that we're seeing more co-op based Souls-like games. After all, we have Remnant of the Ashes, which was called Dark Souls but with guns, and because I also had co-op as well. Same for the sequel, which I still need to play. So yeah, that's all we really have to. That's all we really expect to show up, because I think they're a new studio as well because I don't recognize anything else they really do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But up next, Gizmo, take it away with Blumhouse.
Yeah, so Blumhouse, what they have a gaming division, which is what's shown off, or what's just going to be present in the Summer Games Fest. But they also specialize in horror movies, including the FNAF series. So
Uh,
it's like, is it going to be a likely scenario that we're going to be seeing another FNAF game? Maybe. But yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
other than just looking at the cast, it's like, why you gotta have them in that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
So I was looking through the cast of the FNAF sequel of the movie that's coming out, and the fact that Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, the two main villains in the first Scream, are reunited, and it's gonna be for FNAF film that I am not remotely interested in. And it's like it's great to see them together again, but it's for that movie, so I am conflicted. I am conflicted.
uh, but yeah, we're not really into FNAF. If people didn't get the gist, so there's that.
Yeah, I think we are being too subtle.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we have to say for Bloomhouse at the moment.
Yeah. You know, cool to see some more horror stuff because, we need more horror stuff besides Resident Evil. Which, funny enough, because we're transitioning to my favorite developer slash publisher.
Hey.
So, Capcom, I know some people are kind of mixed on them now because Monster Wild's PC port, fun stuff. But staying positive. Funny we say that. I think we're definitely gonna get a trailer for Monster Hunter Wild's next big update, title update 2, which is supposed to be a return of with Gaia Chris, which people he hasn't been in a Monster Hunter game since Generations. But even then, it's like the last time he was in a Monster Hunter game was Free Ultimate. That was for 3DS and the Wii U. So it's very exciting to see like Capcom bring him into a more modern Monster Hunter game, but it's still kind of concerning to where it's like, is his fight gonna be good? Because they did not bring back underwater combat. So let's just hope he's not like Generations Ultimate Chris, where he's kind of boring. As well, like I'm definitely looking forward to seeing like layered armor come back as not layered armor, layered weapon coming back as well. So like if you're not a big fan of certain weapon designs, you could slap on a different weapon design. Add some more of the updates as they make Wilds a bit more challenging. As well, we're definitely going to get another arch-tempered Apex, which, again, brings more difficulty to the game. If anything,
Yeah, one thing that for Capcom, I don't have anything to do with the monster hunter, unfortunately. But for Capcom, I'm thinking that they showed off Okami very, very slightly in the Game Awards, didn't they?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to be seeing more of that, just because yeah, because they might actually have a release date or maybe just more gameplay. And yeah, so we can probably expect that as well.
Which would be cool as well. Um, which also leads to the other thing. Release date for Onimusha Way of the Sword, since that was also revealed at the Game Awards, which was, I'd say Okami was more exciting because it's like that's a game everybody loves. Well, Onimusha, of course, Resident Evil, but with swords,
That
basically.
sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
No, just that when you say that out loud, I'm like, you know what? I'm not that much of a horror person, but that kind of sounds appealing to me.
Yeah. Although I think, because I still need to play the later entries, I think Onimusha went for more of like Devil May Cry route, where it became more of an action game, which, I mean, hey, I'm fine with that.
Oh, so which one would be the most likely?
Onimusha, just because they actually had like gameplay. Okami, I feel like we're not going to see for maybe like another year or two because they just showed like a teaser trailer. So I don't think they have like the template yet for it.
Oh, so do you think like maybe in the Game Awards it'll be shown off?
Probably.
All right, probably should not veer too far away because we're in the Summer Games Fest. I shouldn't live it too much in the future. I gotta live in the present.
Exactly. Otherwise, you'd just be like the rest of the Mega Man fans who are just like, Capcom, where's my Mega Man game?
Speaking of which, I mean, it's been quite a few years since the last mainline game, so maybe.
Yeah, which they really should have done like a Mega Man X game instead of Mega Man 11, but I understand they like the Blue Bomber, but the fans like Mega Man X more. The other one I think we could potentially see, and this game has been delayed a lot. It's a game called Pragmata, which was at the PS5 reveal event. That's how long ago since it was shown off.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
Um,
don't remember this at all, but okay, that's why.
so like was supposed to come out in the year 2022 or 2023, but it's been delayed. So I think they have to show something now because it's like, okay, how much longer can you actually delay this game? But I think that's it when it comes to Capcom. It's like I'm me as a Monster fan. I'm excited. Oh, almost forgot. I also do think if we don't get at Summer's Game Fest, and because Sony also likes to do their own like little state of play, I think we might at least see Resident Evil 9 because it's also been a few years since Resident Evil 4 remake. So I think it's almost time for 9 to be revealed. It's been quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess the timeline could work out. All right. Well, I think we've said a lot about Capcom. We could go to the next one, which is Coffee Stain Studios, which Dreadclaw has a slight prediction for that.
I think we're gonna hear about those Deep Rock Galactic spin-offs that they've been working on. I know one of them is on Steam at the moment, but they've been working on some kind of roguelike spin-off for Deep Rock Galactic. And the only thing I know if they made was the remaster for Goat Simulator and Goat Simulator 3. So I just think it's gonna be something Deep Rock Galactic related. Rock and Stone!
All right.
Alright, so next up is Focus Entertainment, which is slowly becoming one of my favorites when it comes to publishing games. So they have said, apparently, Space Marine 3 is in development, so that cuts one of my predictions we could see. And I think Space Marine 2 is coming to an end when it comes to like updates. So the one I can think of from them, a series that they have that interests me, I think we're going to see a Plague Tale 3 because the developers behind it are also been quiet. And plus, I believe a Plague Tale 2 came out a few years ago, so it would make sense we would see a third one. And plus, it's good to see more AA games come out too. We could use more of those.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's been a slight trend of AA games too, and I honestly think that's a really good thing, because like even going back to what we were mentioning for Bandai Namco Shadow Labyrinth, it's like this game that's $30. That's like, hey, all right, cool. So yeah, the fact that there's more like that, hey, I look forward to it.
As well, why don't you talk about the next developer, Gizmo? Because I know you're a
Yeah.
huge fan of this said genre.
The next one, well, we talked about Roller Coaster Tycoon before. Frontier Development, because they are the developers of Planet Coaster and Planet Coaster 2. And Planet Coaster 2 came out sometime last year in 2024. So, one of my predictions for that is that there's going to be some sort of expansion on the series. In addition to that, maybe there could be potentially something new and that kind of game, but I highly doubt it since Planet Coaster 2 just came out. So they probably want to keep on capitalizing on that, which I don't see anything wrong with that. Also, there could be something related to F1 Manager as well, because they came out with that game last year as well, even though I'm not really into that thing. But if other people are excited about it, hey, who am I to stop them? But yeah, so that's pretty much what I have to say about Frontier.
Uh, when you say stop them from enjoying, the next developer, they stopped me from liking said game, but I still think it's a good game. I'm still proud of the developer. They were able to pull off a title that's as good as From Software when it comes to Souls games. We're talking about Neowiz, where even though we already know the release date for the Liza P DLC, I think they're still gonna do some advertisement because they have the update that's controversial to me, in my opinion. um, Although the boss rush is a neat idea, I do think that's nice where you don't have to do a new game plus or start a new playthrough just to fight the bosses again. Because Liza B has some really good boss fights, some good, some eh. But there is an ending which I didn't know about because I got spoiled a bit. I think we're gonna see the teaser for their next game, which is supposed to be based on Wizard of Oz, which that's kind of interesting seeing what direction they're gonna go with that, especially like the world of Oz and all of its cast of characters. It's interesting twist they could do.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, the world of Oz is a pretty dark place to begin with. It's like I know we always think of like the bright colors from the original movie and everything, but even in the book and everything, it's still a pretty dark theme. So they could do a lot with it. So I think it'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I saw someone talk about the sequel to Wizard of Oz. I'm like, wow, this is not a colorful movie at all.
No, it never has been.
It's they fooled us.
Hey, good marketing. They fooled us with good marketing.
Exactly. And next we get to talk about our favorite Gizmo. We get to make fun of them every day. Are we going to make fun of them again this year?
Possibly no. I think we're going to be talking about the ones that we actually want to see. We'll just get this out of the way. There are possible remasters and remakes that we do not care about. And by we, I mean Dreadclaw myself. I don't speak for the collective. And that's all I'm going to say on that because we actually are going to talk about stuff that we do want to see. Is it going to be even the most likely? Probably not, but we want to see these things.
Exactly. So, for those that are excited for Ghost of Yote and Death Stranding 2, it's like, okay, more power to you. If you're excited, cool. Me and Gizmo, we not play these. Do we really care? Not really.
No.
But the one PS5 exclusive I'm excited for, even though it's gonna be on PC at some point, Sorrows. I can't fucking wait. I didn't think they're actually gonna do like a follow-up. If it is a sequel or a game that takes place in the Returnal universe, I'm excited. I love that game. It's easily my favorite, and I still find it funny. It's like because Returnal, I would say it's like story driven, but it's more of a roguelike. This was like before the big trend we've been seeing recently with like everybody suddenly having a roguelike. Even Sony doing
Yeah.
that with The Last of Us and God of War. It's like, you have Returnal, you dumbasses. But absolutely visually pleasing, very sci-fi horror-ish. I still wish they would have gone the full Metroid route because I feel like Returnal would have been their answer to Metroid. I still say that. Just the atmosphere, the tone, the mystery. The story's also really good. So I definitely think we're going to see some gameplay because they mentioned at the end of the recent State of Play that they're going to show off gameplay this year and maybe get a release date since it's supposed to be coming out next year. Sony, I swear, if you make that an $80 game, not only am I going to be disappointed, but I think I'll sadly get it still.
I mean, yeah, that's why they decided on the $80.
The other thing I'm hoping we might see Astrobot updates because they do them randomly, and I think it's a nice way to build upon for Astrobot.
Yeah, and do you think that it's going to be released on? They're going to set a date for it to be released on PC?
I imagine so. They probably just have to do some workarounds for the motion controls that Astrobot has. Even though I feel like some people are going to be like, no, it's going to stay on PS5 because it's a celebration of PlayStation history. But at the same time, it's like, I think they really give a shit.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they are experimenting more with licensing and stuff like that. And it's kind of good that they're giving attention to the sleeper hit that is Astrobot. And by sleeper hit, I mean, I don't think they did as heavy advertising as they did for that game, but just the fact that it's like a platformer that's getting more attention, it's like, maybe Sony will finally expand their catalog after, I don't know how long.
I mean, I imagine the update is more likely to happen than Marathon. Sorry, but the fact they canceling all these like marketing, it's Astrobot's more likely.
It's like Astrobot's not very likely, but still more likely than Marathon.
So, what do you think Sony's gonna show off?
For Sony, I'm wondering if they're going to show off some of their old IPs. I think it's a bit too soon, though. I can see it more so happening for something like the Game Awards or the next Summer Games Fest, where they are going to license out some of their old IPs. Some of those include like something like Twisted Metal or Hot Shots Golf, or just pretty much like a bunch of the quote unquote forgotten IPs, just for the lack of a better term. I can see them kind of going that route, but not for this time around. So I actually don't know what they would show off besides the stuff that we make fun of.
Yeah. Where's my Last of Us Part 2 remake at?
I did not want to name these things.
I mean, hey, we're all thinking about it. It's like, I'm just saying.
Uh,
But I do agree with like some of their forgotten IPs. After all, remember the Nintendo Direct where we had like Patapon of all things. I'm like, what? And
yeah, Patapon, Rhythm Heaven, and Tomodachi Life. It's like amazing.
and not to mention, Bandai Namco is doing the publishing for it. I'm like, how do you people have the rights to this in the golf game? What the hell?
So yeah, an honorable mention is the Nintendo Switch 2. We're not going to go too much in depth of that, mainly because they had their direct and they already showcased a bunch of games that were going to be there. So the only thing that I'll say is we'll probably see more gameplay of certain games. Which ones? Don't know. Don't want to think about it, just because we want to get to everything else that have not been shown that much yet.
Which now leads into uh, possibly the one shooter that we're actually looking forward to.
I am so excited about this one. So for PlaySide, they are 99.9% likely going to show off Mouse PI for hire. And this is kind of interesting because Dreadclaw actually found this game a little while back. He can probably explain how he found it. But he showed it off to me, and immediately I wishlisted it. I am excited for it. It's like if you want to get me excited for a shooter, just put it in like a cartoony setting or like a fantasy setting or something like that. And then that's not like such realistic militaristic stuff, and already you have me hooked.
um, I think I found it from some random indie event, but yeah, Mouse PI for hire. Think of it as like you take the boomer shooter aspect, mix them with elements of Bioshock, and you have like this old time black and white rubber hose Mickey Mouse. That's what this is, and it's like outside of Metroid Prime 4. I'm excited for it because it's something different for shooters. It's not the typical hyper realistic military stuff that we normally expect from shooters.
No, it's like 1940s cartoon. And it's like Cuphead started this trend and I am here for it. Like I'm here for it. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. The next developer that we're going to talk about is Raw Power Games. They seem to be a pretty new developer that is based in Denmark. And if you go to their website, they show an image of something that looks like it's going to be a dark fantasy game and some sort of action game. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a hack and slash or action adventure or even an RPG. But they did say that it's going to be released on PC and console. So I'm kind of interested to see what is going to be shown off there because honestly, I do kind of miss just having just a standard hack and slash or something like that. So I'm kind of hoping for something like that, but I'm willing to give this game a chance.
Yeah, especially with like this year, we have like Ninja Gaiden 4, we've had like Hi Fi Rush, which seems to be another genre that's coming back as well.
Yeah, so we'll see what goes on with that.
So moving on to someone that has a bit of surprises, I would say. Well, if they made stuff besides Sonic. Just kidding. We're gonna be talking about Sega next, which I speak of Sonic, but realistically, we all know there's definitely gonna be something Sonic related because one year they had that one 2D Sonic game that people probably forgot about. You team included Gizmo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I remember like some things said by people, but we also had Sonic X Shadow Generations remaster slash remake last year as well. So I think we're definitely gonna see Sonic Racing Crossroads get a release date, which uh great to see. It actually looks promising. It doesn't look as shite when compared to the last one they put out.
Yeah, it surprises me a little bit that they still kept going with the racing aspect, which is kind of good. One thing I can admire about Sega is that it doesn't seem like they're one and done, where it's if they don't fully succeed in one idea, it doesn't seem like they totally give up on it, which I can totally respect that. And yeah, the designs and stuff for Sonic Racing Crossworlds look pretty cool, so I do agree with that. I'm just hoping that there's like talk boxes or something like that, just because when that's not implemented in the game, it just kind of screams like, "Hey, we don't have much budget. We're doing what we can," which I guess is good, but for something like Sonic, you would expect there to be a bit more oomph to it.
I mean, voice lines? Yeah. They're gonna have those.
Oh, they are going to.
Yeah, they talk.
Oh, okay. Well, that's confirmed. All right. Well, I'm good. I'm going to give this a shot.
Oh yeah, same for me as well. Cause like they also have like Sonic Riders stuff. It's like Sega, why you gotta bait me with that?
They know.
I know we want another Sonic Riders game, but they're gonna go with the kart racing games, which hey, not a bad thing. We need more kart racers since it's gonna be a while before we get a proper sequel to Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
But in the meantime, Dreadclaw and I are gonna plug a game that's not even ours, Karters 2, which has aspects of Crash Team Racing, and it has online play, so we're excited for that.
Oh,
This has absolutely nothing to do with Sega, but we just wanted to plug it.
yeah, yeah. Plug it in, cause CTR fans play it.
Come
Um,
with us.
so the other things I think of they're probably gonna show, if not at Summer's Game Fest, because Microsoft has their own show this time of the year as well. I know Sega's gonna show off some pointless Persona 4 remake.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually know some people that are excited about it, and I actually edited a video about it, so that's kind of funny that you say that. But yeah, that's going to be the likely scenario that the Persona 4 remake. I'll briefly touch upon what the other person was stating. I'm just kind of restating someone else's opinion, but the other person is more of an expert than I am about Persona. So he was saying that right now is actually a good time to do the remake, just because they gave enough time, enough breathing room from Persona 3. I cannot recall the title, whatever the Persona 3 remake was, and that some fans have been asking for this, so yeah, it's very likely going to happen. But that's I think that's pretty much what we have to say about Persona.
Yeah. I just say it's a pointless remake just because it's like they already have Persona 4 Golden on like every modern platform.
Golden, that's what it was.
Yeah. But it's like I can understand because they probably want some quality life improvements, maybe some additional content. But it's like, do we really need another Persona remake? But that's another discussion for another time. The other one I can think of could outside of Yakuza, because they already had Yakuza out earlier this year, same month as Monster Hunter Wilds, um, is Virtua Fighter, which is their 3D fighting game series that's like Tekken.
Yeah, so yeah, as someone who's starting to get back into fighting games after 20 years.
Seems about
Uh,
right.
yeah, maybe even more than 20 years, maybe like 25 is more realistic. No, I'm kind of excited to try things out. So yeah, I would like to see what Sega has to offer in the fighting game arena.
I will definitely give Sega this. I do like they actually are starting to use like a lot of their older IPs and they're not starting to just rely on Sonic anymore.
Yeah, that is good. I think they're kind of maybe like superhero fatigue, Sonic fatigue. Maybe they're like, we don't want that to happen. So let's expand upon our other IPs.
And Sega port Banana Rumble to other platforms. Okay, I want to play it on my PC, damn it. Now we move on from the Sonic people. We talk about just like a little brief about Soft Rains, which is a new studio that's working on a brand new sci-fi IP, which I definitely am into the sci-fi genre. So I'm kind of curious to see what they'll bring to the table with this. I'm quite intrigued, especially looking at their website. The talent they have seems pretty promising. So
Yeah, it's like we just want to give a shout out to some of these smaller studios because just the fact it's already pretty admirable enough that they have a place in something as grand as the Summer Games Fest, and we just want to help these new developers because we always like to support the indie ones.
hmm which, speaking of like somewhat when it comes to that, Supermassive Games. They're actually working on something that's not a Choice Matters game. They're working on Little Nightmares Free since um the previous developer decided to work on their own IP. So I predict we're going to be seeing a potential release date for Little Nightmares 3 since it was originally supposed to come out last year, but they delayed it to 2025. And I'm a huge fan of the Little Nightmares series, so them finally incorporating co-op for a Little Nightmares game, I'm definitely keen to see how this will go. And plus, it's $40. So it's like you want to have a somewhat scary horror game that's like I would say entry level horror, and it's only $40 with some co-op. Little Nightmares 3 does look promising. And now it is time for good old Microsoft Gizmo.
So there's a lot we can say about Microsoft. I would say the first thing before I get into my cope, the first thing that's guaranteed that they're probably going to show off is going to be they're going to do something related to the Game Pass. Like I don't know if they're just going to advertise it on its own. I don't know if there's going to be like a new tier system. I'm not sure, but it's pretty obvious that Xbox has been capitalizing on Game Pass. And yeah, they're gonna mention it in some way or another. But my biggest cope, which I'll just get this out of the way because it's very not likely at all, that I'm hoping to see something related to Spyro. But it's again, this is not likely. I'm aware of this. I'm self-aware enough. But yeah, that's my hope for that.
Yeah, I was gonna be like the opposite. But as well, I'll add to your cope. Something Banjo Kazooie related.
Mm.
Because that was. They're doing subtle hints of what they're doing next. So. It's intriguing time for Toys for Bob.
Well, yeah, but I think they need to get one project out of the way before they move on to something else. Or maybe they are doing two at once. I don't know. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah. Because we kind of get the gist of what they're going to do, what they're going to show, which. Fable, the new one, which had some controversy towards it when it was first revealed. But, maybe people are starting to get the gist of it, starting to open up to it, where release date definitely sometime next year, because they already have a few titles that are coming out this year as well. Like, earlier this year we got Avowed, we had South of Midnight, they did the Oblivion remaster, and of course they have the Outer Worlds coming out as well, which I'm looking forward to the sequel. I can't wait to play that. What else? They also have the Gears of War remaster. That's a remaster of the remaster that came out in 2025, 2015.
Yay!
Who was excited? Yay!
It's like they took notes from Sony, but not the notes that they should have.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna give us Gears of War remaster, which I kind of get why they did it, because like it's the first time Gears of War is coming to PS5, but it's like, was the remaster in 2015 not good enough? But as well, it's like they're probably doing as well since Gears of War E-Day being a prequel to the first Gears of War game, so they probably want something for people to play right after when E-Day releases, which probably as well going to be next year, because again, jam-packed with the games I mentioned. Outer Worlds 2, I think we might see it as like sometime between fall and winter title.
And then I'll say this just to be brief. I think they're definitely going to show off something related to Activision, and I say this because recently Steam has had a sale on Activision as a publisher. So because of that timing, maybe they're going to do something with Summer Games Fest. I don't know, but they also did have the release of some of their older games as a collection, as now it's a part of Xbox's catalog. So We might be able to see some of that being advertised as well.
And then there's me with that Cope prediction where it's like, we're gonna get a new Viva Pinata game. Which I know that's never happening, but I can cope, damn it.
It's like, let us have our delusions. They don't hurt anybody.
After all, it's more exciting than what I'm hearing about, like, with Everwild. Which is, Rareware's, newest multiplayer, and I was excited, and now I'm starting to hear it's a multiplayer game like Sea of Thieves, and I'm like, come on. I just say as somebody who doesn't like Sea of Thieves, okay? It's like, you like it, cool. I don't see why people like it so much.
I gave it several chances. Like Dreadclaw knows, and he could confirm right now. I gave it quite a few chances, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, just like another friend of ours. But the last thing we have to talk about in terms of developers is one of my favorites from the indie side of things, Yacht Games, which I'm surprised are gonna be at the event.
Yeah, this is a pleasant surprise. Yeah.
So predictions wise, the one thing I could think of, aside from like little predictions, because I think they're gonna finally show off more footage of Midnight the Horror, one of my most anticipated indie games, period, because I absolutely love the Shovel Knight games. Yacht Club Games always makes pretty fun titles. So seeing them go for something like Zelda, and I'm gonna put this as a reminder for people, I'm not a big Zelda guy. But I always like when developers do these kind of Zelda likes. And in the Hollow having like some RPG elements, going for like a Dark Victorian, Bloodborne kind of vibe. It's like, go for type of stuff like that, I'll be intrigued. So I'm very interested in seeing what they go with Midnight the Holler. I hope it does as well as Shovel Knight, so that way it's like they have something else under their resume besides Shovel Knight, which other things I could see is like Pocket Dungeon, the last DLC for Pocket Dungeon getting a release date, so it's no longer under beta testing for Steam users, and of course, a teaser for their 3D game, which probably Shovel Knight being a 3D platformer.
The main thing I hope for, just because I love Pocket Dungeon to death, is if crossplay is finally implemented. So that's the one thing that I hope for, because they promised before, which I get. There's a lot of logistics and everything like that. So I'm not saying this as someone who's mad about it or anything, but I really just want that to happen. And I think right now would be perfect timing for it, considering the fact that roguelikes has been a bit of a trend lately. So if you can get more people to play their roguelike, which also has puzzle aspects to it, then yeah, why not? But is it likely? No.
Nah. I mean, if Night Rain can't get crossplay, I can't imagine Pocket Dungeon will.
I mean, if it does get it before Night Raid, that'll be honestly very shocking.
And plus, that has more content than Night Rain does at the moment. So, but yeah. So, Gizmo, do you have any predictions for games that from publishers or developer that wasn't listed for the summer's Game Fest?
Um, that is a very good question. I have to think about that honestly.
I mean, for
Well,
me,
there's a big blaring obvious one that we won't go into, but besides that, I don't know. Yeah, you can go ahead.
for me, I would say we're gonna finally see a release date for Cuff Bus, that funny koala game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because it was there last year, so that's why I'm not ruling it out. It's like I'm more excited just for us to play something that's besides a shooter for a multiplayer game because it just looks wacky.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of thing where yeah, you'll create a lot of fun memories with friends.
Yeah. Maybe that's why people like Repo and Lethal Company so much. So maybe we'll get that same appeal with Cuff Busters, because I want to play as the funny koalas, damn it. You can't even smoke a joint.
You're like, I don't do that in real life, so I want to simulate it.
Yeah, and plus it's like I imagine the gameplay's not gonna be that interesting, but it's just like you said, the fun memories we're gonna have. It's just that's the more thing I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to the Summer Game Fest, which, optimistic because lately these events have been getting much better. When compared to like last year. Like I think they gotten better thanks to like I'm not gonna say directly them, but I'd say the pacing got much better with the recent state of plays and the game awards, where it's more game types they're showing instead of like two genres.
Yeah, it's like shooters and open world, in case you're wondering what the two genres we think of it
Yeah, it's
are. Which it's like nothing. I just want to know. It's like nothing against those genres at all. There's like plenty of games that I play that fall into that category, but it's just when it's just back to back to back to back. I personally like a little variety.
exactly. It's like we don't hate those genres. I would like developers would put out more than just shooters half the time. But we gotta chase trends.
But oh yeah, one thing that to know, which I don't think we've mentioned yet, is the fact that there's been a large presence of East Asian developers. So a lot of from China. I mean, there's always been from Japan, obviously, but from China and also a lot from Korea. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what happens. If you want like a game where, if you want something where I can cope with of like, oh, will they show something of anything? It's anything related to Hi-Fi Rush because it got bought out by that Korean company. So it's like maybe they'll show something. They probably won't. But if you're asking like which one would I want to see that's not in the list, that would be one of them.
Oh, that should be cool because I mean it's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, it's gonna happen eventually. I don't think it's gonna happen this year, but if you were to ask me, like, what would you want to see? That's what I would want to see, but I don't think I'm going to see. I just want to. The reason I'm making this clear is because I know a lot of people in the comments are gonna be like, "You're coping," and the answer to that is yes, I am.
But yeah, so if you guys want to check out Gizmo's content, whether it be YouTube or Twitch, make sure to check the description below because he's a cool person. He's been a wonderful co-host for this predictions video. But yeah, as well. Guys, in the comment section below, what are you looking forward to the most from the Summer Game Fest? Um, as well, make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more of these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.